What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Alckemy. We are going to get down on some production and hopefully wrap up this dubstep track that I started a few days ago. Liking the DOOB step. Yeah, I don't really know if there's much else that I want to do to it other than just like try to clean it up a bit. But yeah, it's getting there. It's coming along. I still don't know how I feel about the intro and whether or not it needs another section, but maybe you all can throw some suggestions my way and I can figure out what I want to do from there. But before we do that, I think that we are here, I want to say. Maybe here. September 30th. Yeah, I think we're here. So we'll go and play everything from this place. That was cool. Bruh. Dude, shout out to Crow. He's been super consistent in posting like every day. Dope. Sounds more like drum and bass to me, but still cool. Yeah, if you all want to submit an everyday quick play spell, it's a 15-second or less demo that you can post one per day. And, you know, during a brand new stream, yeah, people are still, this has been going on for a while. People, it's usually the same people, but I mean, hey, that's what it's for. So I'm glad that this is holding people accountable to make stuff. So, yeah, this is the tune that we are working on. It's almost done. I've made a couple of changes off stream, mostly just trying to clean up the muddiness of the intro, and then I added some reverb to the drums on this. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. It sounds good on my speakers, but I'd have to listen to it in headphones to see if it's too much or not. But where I'm at right now is I want to finish or decide if I want to add any more to the arrangement and then get into like the detail stuff. There's like some really small things that I want to change on here and just, you know what I mean? Just have the moment to moment be, I don't want to do too much. That's the thing. Like it's a really good balance, but there's like maybe one or two instances on here where I'm like, maybe I could do something cool. And then after that, it's just being like, okay, is it done? Hey, Bow Wow, what's up, Flat? So, yeah, that's what we got so far. Like here, I could add like, you know what I mean, some wispies and shit. Yes, it's way too long. 15 seconds or less. Because imagine if like 20 of you post a 30-second, 40-second track. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to spend 20 minutes listening to everybody at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, so for the most part, it's just little things like that, you know, adding uh adding filters, or you know what I mean, doing some automation and trying to be like, do I want to God damn it. Do I want to add something else to this, or I don't know, what do you all think? Do you think it needs another part or no? I'm kind of leaning towards no, but I also don't just want to be lazy, but at the same time I'm like, where does this track need to go? Because I feel like it said the meanest shit, and the only other direction to go for this is down. And so something that's like more chill or something. Yeah, I don't think it does either, to be honest. I think that like just as a short excerpt, it's kind of done. It's 3 minutes and it has some ambience, it has the main parts, it has the thing, but I think that if I were to add anything, it would have to be like something that's like low energy or something, you know? I've got 2 mugs over here. I should take one to the kitchen. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for the most part. I think yeah, now I'm just going to kind of get into some of the moment to moment stuff like I want to change up. So only thing might be a section with no harmonic or melodic stuff. What do you mean? What else would there be? Also, why? Oh, okay. No. Like 8 bar, where would that be? I'm open to it, but I'm not sure where I would put that. Oh shit, that's supposed to be on. Oh, it's already in there? Okay. No, like I said, like I asked, so. Yeah, because I really, like, I pulled off of all of the high end here to try to really emphasize this. I just don't know if it's enough yet. That might be kind of cool, actually. Wait. Dude, the automation in Bitwig 6 is... I hate it. So probably start here, and... I really hope that they regress back to the latch automation. Like, it's not unusable, I just don't like it. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, wherever that is, I need to find that little moment right there, because it's so fucking cool, but I want it to be a little bit louder. That's a good question. Not long, like a few months, maybe. Like about after 3 months, I was like, okay, I know Bitwig enough to make the switch over to from Ableton, you know. I think I still have those streams too, to where like I'm learning Bitwig and trying to figure all that shit out. And I have a complete course from 3.3 onwards to where and it's free, by the way. It's public. But yeah. NBC Live 3 is coming out tomorrow. Oh, it's dropping tomorrow? Are you going to get it? It looks cool, but I don't think I want to spend the money on it. Okay, what happened there? Because now we just lost the cool sound. Oh, that's why. 1,700 bucks. I think, like, honestly, I have everything I need. Like, I have a Digitact, I have a Waldorf Iridium, and between those two, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dog, what else? Hold on, wait. So, forgive me, I'm not trying to flex, but Waldorf Iridium, a Digitact 2, a Digitone 2, an Oxy 1 sequencer, an analog heat plus effects, plus a microcosm, not to mention an iPad and a Hapax. Like, I don't need anything else. I don't, guys, I don't need anything else. If, I will say, like, if Akai, and maybe I will, maybe I'll reach out to Akai and be like, yo, you should send me a demo unit. Well, I say you should, but more so of like a, hey, will you send me a demo unit? I need to make sure that I'm coming from a place of humility, and be like, let me do some coverage. UDO Domino synth, new type of hybrid analog synthesis. You saw it? Yeah, I saw, like, there's pictures of it online. It looks crazy, like, with all the colors and stuff. It reminds me of, it just reminds me of the 90s with the color scheme. But I don't know. It's, oh, before the look? Yeah, I know. You said it's not a controller. But what I'm saying is, like, what's, or did I say controller? I thought I said synth. Domino synth? That's what I thought I read. But yeah, I mean, I've got videos on the MPC stuff. No, it's all good. I have like how to neurobase. I have some performance things on there where, like, I'm doing finger drumming and all that, because I can finger drum. I don't much anymore, but I can to a decent degree, as long as I have a metronome. I still, yeah, I never like graduated from CV Gate. What? Used to do MPC stuff, but don't really use it much anymore. I think the MPC is, like, incredible for one specific thing, and that is sampled music. Hey Fudge, what's up? That's like, I like that it has synths. I like that it has all that stuff, but it's I'm never gonna do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna get, like it's never gonna happen. Well, here's the thing. It's like, I have Cubases on my iPad, which is like 20 times better of a workflow than the MPC for me. There's two notes there that I used in a heavy tune. Wait, what? That I also used in a heavy tune? Two notes? It's more of like having a bigger scope about, like, instead of trying to force something to do something, I try to look at hardware these days, or like really any tool that I have, of like, all right, what is this really good at? You know what I mean? Like, what is this good at, and how do I make the most out of it? I am really big about breaking stuff, but if it comes to the point to where, like, the labor factor is this big compared to being able to solve the problem like that, while doing it this way doesn't have as good of results, that's usually where I draw the line. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to make neurobase in the Digitact, even though I can go filter right? And then resample, filter, resample, filter, resample. But I'm not going to do that because like I could just pull up Faceplant. I could pull up the Waldorf and be like, all right, let's just do that. Hey, Silobite. You know what I'm saying though? Like it's so, from an efficiency standpoint, it's like you're better off looking in other directions for that, you know? I think that if you get some good drums and stuff in there, I think that the MPC, if you're somebody that is primarily DAW focused, is right. Too many steps for the same results. But if you're someone that's primarily DAW focused, then using something like the MPC or the Digitact or even the sequencers is a great starting point. It's a great place to like sketch ideas. But when you're trying to do too much, and then you have to ask yourself, is it really worth $1,700? You know what I'm saying? For a sketch tool, like that's where you have to figure out, okay, like, is this worth it for me? You know? And in some cases it is, because I have stuff, you know? 8 gigabytes of RAM is where I stopped being interested in the Live 3. Like, what the fuck? Do you feel like 8 gigabytes is not enough? I mean, like, it's different. I think it is, because I think the MPC Live 3 is the only device that has that much RAM. Like, even the MPC keys and all that other stuff, I think it has like 4. But you also have to realize that the operating system that is within the MPC 3 is solely dedicated towards that hardware. Like that's all the operating system does. It doesn't have any other tasks for it to perform. So and not only that, but it's completely optimized for its own ecosystem. So I would actually expect it to perform a lot better. Yeah, I feel that. It's portable, it's got its own speaker, like, yeah, totally dope. I get that. I do think that if I were to buy a Groovebox, it would probably be the Ableton Push 3. Because A, you can upgrade it to, it's also portable. I think the biggest downside is that it doesn't have speakers, but I mean, you can get like a JBL Extreme or something like that and fucking hook it up and still play in stereo. So like it's there. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to talk about the MPC3, but I don't want to bash it. I also don't feel like I should talk about it because I don't have one in my hands, you know? I've had the Live 1, I've had the Live 2, I've got plenty of content on it, but yeah, I think my biggest thing that the MPC needs for me is it needs some kind of modulators, and it needs more insert effects. It's going to go nuts tomorrow on YouTube. Maybe. I don't know about you all, but like, have you noticed that like music tube, we'll call it that, is just like it's fucking dead right now. It's pretty fucking dead. Like almost every huge YouTuber I know is not getting the same numbers that they were 6 months ago. A CD is 700 megabytes, and that's over an hour of stereo audio. That's, yeah, that's random. Tapped out a music tube a while ago, so I haven't noticed. Yeah, and that's okay. Like I'm not, that's not a blame thing. You know what I mean? But I've noticed that like people aren't watching my videos. People aren't even watching Venus Theory's videos. Virtual Riot put out a really good video recently, and like it's got like 50,000 views, and I'm like, damn, like, you know what I mean? He's somebody that was pulling like $500,000 per video. If Akai devices had VST options, I would stop using Bitwig. It does have VST options. They're different, and you have to pay for them. Oh, my point is that 8 gigabytes is a lot of RAM. Yeah. No, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm with you on that. Well, that means that you can run more tracks, right? I also think that something else that I think the MPC could really benefit from is having different warp modes, because right now it only has, I think, what, like 2 or 3? I mean, that's true, but you can just have an output send into that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you have to realize that because, and you probably already know this, but I'm going to say something that, you know, is the obvious Bob, but it has its own operating system. And so because of that, like it's probably never going to use the VSTs. You know what I mean? So it has its own stuff built in, like Op 6 or Op 4. Wait, is it Op 6? I think it's Op 4. Like, you should go watch those videos that I put out on the MPC for that, because I teach you how to make neurobase in it. I go through like bells. I've got like a whole review on that. It's plenty. Like, that FM synth can do most of what you need. I do wish that it had more waveforms outside of just sine waves, but it's a pretty powerful synth. The Moog, right? It's got the Moog thing. That's a pretty powerful analog synth for making like dope Reese's. What else is on there? There's the Poly synth or something like that. Polytube, tube synth. Yeah, guys, like, I have a 2-hour masterclass on like building everything from scratch with the MPC. But the reason why I don't have it anymore is because I kind of like, I did the thing, you know, and I could say like maybe the quality could have been better or whatever, but I did what I had for the knowledge at the time. And you can definitely take that and go further with it, if that makes sense. And also, like, please don't expect to be listening to this kind of stuff that I'm making through the MPC. Like, it's, the hardware has limitations. Like, it's only going to be so, what am I doing? It's only going to be so good. Alckemy halftime MPC. But yeah, I've got a bunch of shit on the MPC. Here you go. I'm pretty sure that I cover like everything. Yeah, I go through the design. I go through drum design. I go through groove making. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot of shit on here that I cover. They got auto sampler too. You can basically steal VSTs and real synths in there. Oh, really? Yeah. So you can do like a thing that will like sample the entire key range. So that's a really big consideration too. It's not quite the same, but yeah. Oh shit. Erica Badu, Alchemist, voltage controller. That's cool. I might have to watch that later. I kind of want to do like a... That might be cool. Let me see if that will work. Yeah, maybe. Set that to re-trigger. Can I release dubstep phase plant patches? These aren't... Yeah, that's not really working the way that I want it to, but I want some kind of detail right there. I've got so many saved for dubstep. So the thing with this is like, no, but it's not because I don't want to. It's because there's so many sounds on here that are random sounds that, like, I don't have a patch for that. I made that randomly through doing shit. But the other thing is that while this is a phase plant patch on its core, this isn't a dubstep thing. Like it's just a halftime sound. Like if you take all this stuff off, you get what I'm saying? So it's and that's kind of the thing with presets is like you have to understand that a lot of shit when it's used in context has extra processing on top of it, and that's why I don't like doing demo tracks whenever I release a bank. Excuse me. Yeah, right here I wanted to do a crazy ass glitch. And I think I'm going to make it half as long, half the length, and do an off thing here. It might even be right here, but I need to listen for it. Nope, never mind. That was it. No, because like I have memberships, and like on my memberships I release effects, or sorry, I put out patches and all that, but in the means of like dubstep and stuff, like I don't actually make stuff that's dedicated to dubstep. I'm only calling this a dubstep track because it's somewhere around the 140 range, 130, I guess 134, but it's just the groove of it that makes it dubstep, but it's not like like I don't that's a genre that I don't, or that's a type of dubstep that I don't really care to invest in. This, on the other hand, this is more of like, it is a dubstep track, but it's more of like a break to me, right? Because it's like, that's how I came up with this idea, by the way. Yeah, so I've had this idea in my head for probably a fucking decade. I think that it's probably just taken me up until this point to be able to like execute it in a way that I always wanted to. And even though like melodically it's stupid, you know, duh, duh, for a minute and a half, I'm kind of relying on my texture and sound design flex to make it a little more interesting. Okay. Forgot to turn it off here. I actually fucked up somewhere because... Oh, man. This... Shit. Fuck. Okay, Alright, it's not that big of a deal. But wherever this has a double one below it, I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. So what we have here is 2 layers. These should probably be together. But whenever these 2 are layered on top of each other, I'm muting the top end, because if you listen to this, okay, and then right here, I want this to... have some kind of reverse sound right here. Cool. Maybe right here I can play around with... That's such a cool sound. I was thinking about maybe some ducked reverb or something. Hmm. There we go. So the reason why I wanted this was because there's kind of like it's just silence right here for the most part, or not silence, but there's empty space, and so I wanted to see if this might sound good with having that reverb come in. Yeah, so that way it has a little bit of it's got a little bit of fill. Okay, I need to automate it. Automation, my least favorite thing to do. This track reminds me vaguely of Blue Stripes by Cohen Sound. So I went back and heard it. Oh well, dubstep is getting old. Dubstep is, yeah, I agree. Dubstep is getting old. Okay, this is kind of lazy, but let's see if this works. Fuck yeah. I love breaks. Fucking I love drums. That's my thing. I fucking love drums. Like you ever like talk about something, you just get chills. But when it comes into like rhythm and all of that, like I just want to be better at it. But those little things right there, you know, the little nuances of that kind of shit that most people are not going to notice, but like, ah, man, fuck off. That's such a cool fill. Fuck you. Takes one to know one. In other words, you wouldn't be here if you didn't like that shit either. A whole whopping 15 of you. Feels like it has good call and response without it being too much. Yeah, thank you. That's kind of what I'm trying to do is like I think the hardest thing about this, one of the hardest things about this genre is getting it to have the energy that it does. But then once it does, like not overproducing it. You know what I mean? Oh wait, I don't even have to do this. I could just sing into this shit. Um yeah, but not overproducing it is like is rough. Yeah. 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 Wait. Input 3, 4. I need to change this to input 3, 4. In a world full of tacos. Yeah. Err. Err. See if I can just get like some other reverb on this. You know what else could be fun?
You know what else could
I hear feedback getting up on that.
in a world full of tacos, one man, one journey.
See, like, this is really cool. The way that it's kind of creating. Dope. One abyss, one giant chasm.
One way in, no way out.
Yeah, that's fun. Um, the point of me wanting to do that was I wanted some kind of vocal over this part, and I think that having that is something that I can work with. I probably need to tune it because I don't even know what note I sang, but do I have a pitch drifter? Pitch. Drifting pitches. Drifting pitches. I could probably use a chorus. When it's produced tonight, but everything sounds like ass because my ears are blocked. Oh, dude, are you still feeling sick? Sorry to hear. No, I haven't. I'm on Mac. I'm sorry. I think that I forgot to mention that there's... Is there anything on this? No, that's by itself. So there's a huge sidechain on there, and that's why that's doing that. Oh God, yeah, that's... Look, in order for that to happen, I need to make a lot more money. And YouTube and just the music industry has not been very kind the last 2 years. I'm very lucky that I'm still here, to be honest. But yeah, I'm done with purchases for a while. New dynamic multi-core stereo VCF with this 8 creative play modes. Domino unlocks dynamic interactions. Okay, well now I'm curious. Like, let's look it up. What does this actually look like? If it looks like a traditional synth, I might not be into it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I could. I don't think I would ever see myself buying this. If the reason why I like this so much is because it has a screen. That was the one saving factor of this, is that it has a screen. If I buy a synth, I really want it to have a screen, especially if I'm going to pay $5,000. Yeah, I believe you. I'm sure it sounds great. I don't think I could do it. What is this? What just happened? Where was the picture? The fuck? Well, this looks interesting. Polypol. Oh, this must be a modular device. Yeah, I need a screen though, like a dedicated screen. I don't need a touch screen, but I need something to kind of be like, yo, this LFO is going this way. I think the one... Yeah. Oh, I've seen this. This thing looks awesome. No, that's the completely different synth. What the fuck? Somebody made a couple of YouTube videos on this, and this is like I think it's called like Terrain. Yeah, it's called Terrain. That looks pretty fucking sick. I don't know what it does, but I saw a couple videos on it. No, this Conductive Labs Terrain synth. Like, that looks dope. There was also the vector synth, but I feel like that's kind of like a gimmick. This looked interesting. But again, it's not really something that I think I would buy. Like, the thing about the Iridium is that it does almost everything. Like, the biggest shortcoming of the Iridium is probably in the effects section. But from a synthesis standpoint, especially with the 6 operator FM, the 6 kernel FM, it's like having FM6 because there's not 8 in your yeah, in a box. It's fucking nuts. It does granular. It has a physical modeling engine, so where you can use samples as an exciter, and as well as like a partial editor. It's got wavetable synthesis to where you can design your own wavetables, but it's kind of jank. And then it has great virtual analog, but this thing is just, this is probably the most single expensive piece of gear that I've purchased from a price point standpoint, other than my actual computer. But it's also like the best thing for me, you know? Looking more at the Domino, the play mode seemed kind of gimmicky. Only that looks promising in series mode. One audio output is used as a complex oscillator and routed to the Domino 2 oscillator mixer. Oh, right, because it's 2 oscillators, and then it does one thing, it goes into the next one, and then you can, like, do interesting shit with it. But, dog, $5,000. $5,000. Do you know how much I paid for this? I mean, market price is, like, 22, but I paid, like, 14, 15? No. 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 Have any of you played Metal Gear Solid 2? All of the guards are Russian, and when you hold them up, one of them is like, no! It's pretty fucking funny. $5,000 is so much money, dude. That's a car. Actually, I'll do you one better. It's not just a car, but it's actually like a new computer. Like, you could build your dream computer with that kind of money. A pleasing white car. Let's also not talk about how much money I've spent on Yu-Gi-Oh cards the past couple of years. But money management, right? That's still not 5K. I'm just going off of what... I'm just going off of what... what Nate was telling me. Oh, the Andromeda? the other thing is that it's so big that like traveling with it and stuff is just a pain in the ass. That's why I bought the core. Like I could put this in a backpack if I wanted to. I wouldn't, but the NPC? Oh right, and you have to tune it. Oh. Yeah. I think maybe just mixing or something would be the last thing. Like I don't know, do you all feel like this needs anything? The intro have enough does it have enough build in it? Or I think this is pretty good. I definitely think that there's some rough mixing patches, but I almost like it because I just like distorted sounds. And the main sections are like, you know, but I spent 700 on the Torso S4 and the most inspiring piece of hardware I've ever used in years. That's the granular sampler, right? Granular, I have an interesting relationship with granular. Like I do use it, but I'm very like selective on how I use it these days. It is like it's like a gateway drug to only floating in ambient. You know what I mean? It's like the best for vibes of just like, oh, it's so pretty and you know, beautiful and I love it, but like for making this kind of shit, you generally want to avoid granular stuff. Like it's more of like I think that's actually a really interesting conversation about like what kind of effects and stuff we gravitate to. Yeah, you can do crazy glitches and breaks on it and stuff. Absolutely, that's totally valid. But I find that like as far as making a very clear and intentional sound that's heavy, granular isn't the way to go, and that's just by design, right? Because of how it chops up partials and all that other stuff. But yes, and that's why I was saying I do use granular, but I'm very selective of how I use it these days. But I find that with like crazy granular and glitches and stuff, I'm more so of like looking for fills as opposed to trying to find a track starter through that. I'm also speaking through my personal use case. So, you know what I mean? If you're like into IDM and all that other stuff, like not out to take that away from you. However, for my kind of music, a lot of where I went off the rails was I started trying to rely on granular to make interesting sounds. And it hurt my music personally just because I wasn't going in the direction that I wanted to get to with the heavy shit, you know? And in order to get to the heavy stuff, you have to be a lot more intentional with more consistent waveforms, we'll say, and more consistent use of saturation. So that's why when I invested into the analog heat and I started looking at like just more distortion type things, like my entire production started going in the direction that I wanted it to. There were lots of other factors, and it wasn't until somebody told me about this that I was looking for that I started making those changes. At the same time, I think that if I would have just stuck with like throwing Portal on everything, or throwing Microcosm on everything, or throwing Phase Plan on everything, because I had that phase, no pun intended, where like I had all these cool dope ass fucking, you know, glitch layers and stuff, and I still use them from time to time, but yeah, it was a lot harder to, and I found that, like, to be honest, most of the glitch shit that I do is by hand now. Like, some people would call this a glitchy dubstep thing, and I would also say, like, yes, I did almost everything by hand. I had Beam on a couple of things, but I didn't even end up really using half of it. But what I did, let me see, return to IDM. Let me see where this is at. Here we go. So a lot of this stuff, like, this is all pretty much by hand. And I think that it's like just going into the intention of like, what do you want this thing to do? That's my favorite part of the track too. Yeah, I love that song. It's a really cool vibe. But like, yeah, all of the texture and shit. Likewise, when I was in my combo of glitches by hand and some curated sound design gems is a way to go. Yeah, like I have some stuff that was really reliant. This was like way back in 2020. To which the production value of this is not nearly as good as where I'm at now, but that's also because I was trying to figure a bunch of shit out. But that kind of shit, a lot of this was still audio manipulation, but what I did was I had a lot of snap heap patches and was just making like shit like this. But it sounds really cool, but if you notice, like it doesn't, there's a fidelity aspect to it that is kind of like, why does it sound jank? Hey, what's up, Levi? Long time no see. Now we're talking. I guess this would be a dubstep track. It's more of like an IDM thing, I guess, but this was from like 2020. It's so crazy, like, this sound is so dark. Fuse compressor really changed my life with production. B-Boys would tear this up? I think it's too fast. Yeah, I haven't listened to this shit in a long time. I also have The Source of Nightmares. Dude, you know what else is super sampleable? Like, do you ever see the beat making battles that they do in Russia a lot? Will I ever release my older shit? This is on my website. Yeah, dude, it's like just these fucking finger drummers. It's like it's a finger drumming battle. That's what it is. And it's fucking sick. What do you mean, like, old stuff? They were grooving so well, it sounded like a break. Yeah, that sounds dope. Yeah, see if you can find it and put it on Discord. So, like, I think that this is a great testament, though, to what I was talking about, because this was part of, like... Again, I had a lot less experience 5 years ago. But while it does give you really cool sounds, like, there's a huge fidelity loss in just, like, using random shit to make sound vomits, I guess. Yeah, so anyway, crazy. And then here we are now with this shit. And that's part of, like, that's one thing that I am really proud of on YouTube is, like, no matter how cool it sounds and add OTT, sometimes, like, if it does not have if it's missing a certain frequency range of harmonics, then you have to be crafty with how you build, because not every sound is just full of harmonics, right? Like you can't, if you throw a bunch of OTTs on a sine wave, it's not going to start to make noise. It's just going to squarify. So if you want it to start to have like unique timbres and stuff, you have to introduce another element of harmonics in which the OTT can have something to work with, or you introduce aliasing in some other way with a weird phase offset that you later have to distort. And you get what I'm saying? I'll say this, and this isn't because my producer name or whatever is Alckemy, but any sound can become any kind of sound. Like that's where I'll meet you in the middle point with. But well, hold on, sorry, I fucked up. Any sound can become any kind of sound, but not any sound can just become any sound. You know what I mean? There's just too many variables for it to be like exactly like something like somebody made it. You can get close, but it's never going to be the exact je ne sais quoi, you know? It's always going to be something that is like, okay, we're kind of there, but blah, because there's just, yeah, there's way too many factors that go into it. But you can turn a kick into any other kind of sound. And there's a web with this, right? You can turn a pad into a fucking hard-hitting snare. I've done it. I think you all have seen me do that on the channel. We turned a hi-hat into a neuro bass. I think I have a short on that, right? And I was like, whoa, this shit's crazy. But it's understanding the manipulation aspect of it and being like, okay, what do I want this to become? And what are the characteristics of what classifies this sound? And once you have that understanding, then, yeah, anything can become anything, essentially. One hand clap. Weird, but yeah, so that's kind of my sentiment to that. All right, I want to do one more listen through to this, and if anybody has anything that sticks out to them, I'd like to know. But for the most part, I think that this is kind of wrapped as far as the arrangement goes. Maybe change. Okay. So I'm gonna make my own vinyl to this after this plays, but that's probably the only thing that I can think of that I'm like, I want to change that. Oh, you mean the call? That's what you were talking about? Yeah. One thing that I do want to add is I think there's a purple section right here with the bait. Yeah. Down here, I left, I think it's this. Yeah, we're going to do this again on the downbeat of this. Yeah, you should. Feel free to post it. I mean, yeah, dude, it's 2 notes. Duh, duh, you know what I mean? But most neuro shit is just duh, duh, you know? That I didn't do anything unique here musically. This is really just a sound design vomit, but it's in a way that I'm actually admitting like this is a for myself. It's a very generic melody. It's beyond generic, but it works. Maybe we can even. Yeah, I kind of want some detail here. Well, it's the biggest, like, it's one of the biggest, um, emotional, like, one of the most evocative, I guess, because it's the biggest contrast, right? I want to say, or one of the biggest, like, yeah, exactly. It's perfectly dark. I don't have the words to describe. I think that Corey could describe it much better than I could, but excuse me, that's kind of my point. So we're gonna grab a test tone here. Sorry. And then we're gonna send this through bit crushing. And what I'm going to do is set this to, well, there we go. I'm kind of curious why that sounds like a square right now. That should sound like noise. There we go. Well, the clipping was off when I first introduced it. Or did you mean the clipping here? There we go. Yeah, you might have been right. Okay. Oops. There we go. Yeah, this is how you can make vinyl. But I want this to be a little bit slower. I think this is okay. Oh, it's all good. I think this is fine though. Because it's really just meant to be super subtle. I have a video on how to do this. I just haven't done it in a while. Yeah, much happier with that. I want to try something strange. What happens if I just neuro the sides? That might be crazy. Maybe something a little more subtle. What does that sound like? Maybe not. I think just that is probably fine. Yeah. Yeah, I really want someone to walk away from this track being like, damn. You know what I mean? That's really what I hope somebody gets from this track. Even if they don't like it or even if it's not the most memorable thing, I just that's just the goal. I have been wanting to quit making music this hard before after listening to Mahler's Eighth Symphony again. I probably sound like a total snob. Well, I mean, maybe. Like, are you gonna quit music? No, of course not. Listen to it, appreciate it, and then like, this is kind of nice. Maybe just something that has a little bit more musical context to it. Nah, that's the easiest thing to point out to somebody, you know, but I don't know. Actually, there have been times where I had to tell somebody, myself included, to like pull the ego out of it, but sometimes that's not even what it is. Sometimes it's just like, wow, that is so profound that, you know what I mean? You're like, what do I have to contribute to the music world? But the thing is like I pivot into being like, I don't care anymore because I'm like, I just want to make the music that I want to make. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do my fucking backflips to this kind of music. Like, think about gainer switches, right? That's where you do a flip off of one leg, you switch legs, and then you keep swinging. Like, you think Phase Plant will release something like Serum Spectral Oscillators? Probably, probably not. But they have spectral effects, which I think are way more useful, personally. Okay, so this actually does need to be a B. Needs to be a B. I love hearing orchestras play with electronic acts. Hope to achieve that someday with something I wrote someday. Yeah. You should listen, if you haven't already, you should listen to Zyaku, because he does such a fucking phenomenal job at mixing live instruments with like neuro shit or just heavy electronic music. And he also sings a lot, so like he's kind of like the complete package. He just fucking does everything. Elon Moore, that's another good example. Thought of 12 seasons, musicians playing with you. Wild stuff. Yeah, Elon Moore kind of went like in a different direction, a very different direction with his music. But like when Demons came out, which he took down, which I don't blame him because that was like his own personal project or whatever. But like, I feel lucky to still have a copy of Demons. But that was a crazy fucking that was fucking insane. Yeah, I bet Bjork was cool too. And she does a lot of like hardware stuff, right? Isn't that kind of how she got started? I remember watching a small documentary where like she's just got this huge fucking room of nothing but synths on the floor, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. I think my issue is like when I listen to Mahler and similar composers, I heavily identify with the music, which naturally means that I want to make something similar, but just unable to at the moment. Well, my advice would be like, what can you make? You know what I mean? Like what can you take from that? And that's where inspiration comes in, because obviously no, you can't, you know? But what are some things that what are some things that you can take away from what you admire about your inspirations, and then be like, all right, well, let's start with like a smaller thing and then let it go in a different direction that is going to be your own imagination. Inspirational talk, I guess. It's more of just like, I think it's just being real with yourself. You know what I mean? Zyaku, he's been on the channel before. He only lives like 15 minutes away, but he's just, Zyaku. Shout out to Zyaku. He might even be here lurking in chat. I don't suspect he is, but there's a possibility. Yeah, so maybe something else that I could do now actually would be a good time to maybe use some granular stuff for like texture, right? So I can go back to focusing on the music bit. And then maybe we can find some stuff in here that could be interesting. Like plus 12. And set the rate of this to be like really slow. Set the rate of this to be really slow. That's cool. But yeah, it's like some things that you can take from it don't have to be like, yo, I need to make a full composition. Like I'm never going to make music like Chi or like Cage. You know what I mean? Or if I do, it's never going to be as good as them. But in the midst of that, in the midst of like working on trying to instead develop, like, I have a video called How to Develop Yourself as an Artist. And maybe I should do an update to that. I might not even do a public one. I might just do it for the members. But and the thing there, I have this like huge breakdown about how to use that as a sense of development. But instead of saying how do I make music like this artist, I would ask the question, what is it about their music that makes you feel something? Does that make sense? Because what happens is you really start breaking down what you really like about this stuff, and you can take those attributes or those characteristics and start to work on that as an application to what you like. You know what I mean? So like I've had the same thing for years. I like really hard drums, I like really heavy basses, I like really groovy things, and like if I have a good groove and dope basses, I'm usually pretty happy. I don't need it to have much else. You know what I mean? So what have I been doing the last 14 years of music production? 13, 14 years. What do I do every session? Drums. What do I do every session? Bass. And the people that I have given so much of my money to have been to the people that could teach me the things that I couldn't figure out myself, which is like, if it wasn't for Cage, I would not be making Halftime. If it wasn't for Chi, like I wouldn't be making a lot of shit. If it wasn't for Zane, which Zane never took a penny from me, by the way. I've offered and he always told me no. But Zane never charged me a dime for anything. But if it wasn't for the talks that I had with him, like he sat down with me for like 3 hours and gave me like all of this shit about music theory just because I asked him one question and he went on a tangent and I just let him cook. But that's the thing, right? And that's what I wish more people did. Is like, like, in my opinion, if you're trying to get better at music, fucking seek community. I imagine that's why you're here. But fucking seek community. Seek community. Seek mentors. Seek people that can teach you the shit that you like. Don't try to figure out everything by yourself. If you all have watched Frequent and I's interview, like I was like, how did you get into music? And he was like, man, I saw this fucking guy on Craigslist and my mom dropped me off at his house and started teaching me how to make beats. Like, there you go. You know what I'm saying? And Frequent is an incredible producer and super talented and all that stuff. But like, fucking seek community. Stop being a hermit. And I wish that more people got involved with shit. And I wish that people were a little bit more open about things, because I have very strong feelings about this, because I'm really upset at how the community itself has reacted to the fucking blast cap of information that's been blown off from people putting stuff up on YouTube, right? Like back then it was all really tight knit. You had to like know where to go in order to get any kind of information. And now it's all out there, but nobody's really like having any discussions with it other than maybe Discord or something. But like, there's not really like widespread discussions and stuff that, that are like pushing the genre forward. And it also needs to be done in a way that's healthy. It's not just like, yo, let's talk about music. Like somebody came in yesterday and was bitching about dubstep being stupid or whatever. And I'm like, those aren't the kind of conversations that I'm talking about. And the reason why that makes me upset is because it does the exact opposite of what I want people to do, which is fucking connect, like in a safe space, right? And it's hard. And I don't know what my role in this is other than trying to set an example. But I do want there to be a place, especially now that the industry is like fucking taking a dumpster fire shit. Like, we need to keep this as a hobby. We need to keep it as something that we enjoy. And there needs to be like a place that you can be like, yo, I'm going to cultivate here. And it's safe to make mistakes. It's safe to have open discussions about weird shit that I don't feel uncomfortable about sharing. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. Music is universal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird because as isolating as it is being a producer, it's also the thing that like it's the number one thing I think that we use for uh reinforcing community, I guess, you know? And I'm not trying to be like, yo, like I don't want to like I don't want to sound like I'm a culty guy or anything like that, because like my community might not be the one for you, and I'm okay with that. And I don't have any kind of crazy fucking commitment shit. At the same time, find one that's right for you. You know what I mean? Find one that's right for you. Notice how the idea of keeping it as a hobby irritates the ego? Well, whose ego is it irritating? You know what I mean? Like, it's, I mean, and that's okay too, if that's how it makes you feel. But from my point of view, it's like, it doesn't mean give up on financial dreams of music. It means that if you want to, like, if you want to get somewhere, you have to enjoy it. Like, you have to love this shit, because it's going to punish you. Like, guys, this fucking career path is going to fucking punish you. It's going to be tough. Unless if you are willing to make, or, and even then, if you just pursue the money aspect of it, like, I don't know what kind of person I would be if I went that route. If I was like, yo, I just want to be internet famous, DJ famous, like, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. It's like, you can, but in general, like, the industry is fucked. It's super cooked. And I would even say, and I don't think that I I honestly want to say like this one is out of my control, because I feel like if anything, like my sounds and stuff have done nothing but improve. But like even samples and preset packs and all that stuff, like that was my primary driver, is my primary driver for income. And like I've been selling terribly the past year and a half. It's because it's fucking saturated. It's super saturated. And putting stuff in front of people's faces and asking for $1, you know what I mean, when everyone and their dog is a musician, is just a thing. And so like, in my opinion, the way that people are going to make it is you have to have something beyond just, oh, I make cool sounds. Oh, my music is cool. Look at me. Look at me. Look, give me attention. My music is cool. Like, do any of you actually even come in here because of the music, or do you all actually just come in here to fucking hang out? Because I think it's the latter. I don't think that people even give a fuck what I'm doing most of the time. I think that it's mostly like I'm doing music, and so we can have conversations about music. But for the most part, I think the majority of people that come in here and stick around are just like, yeah, what's up, Ian? And I'm okay with that. But you get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I, trust me, I know. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you even giving me your sentiment, because to be honest, I don't care why you're here. I appreciate that you're here. So that's the number one thing. But when it comes into musical results, all that stuff, like, did you all watch, I think most of you did, but did you all watch my Venus Theory interview? What was the number one thing I said to him? I was like, yo, I want to talk about your music, because probably nobody knows you for your music, you know? I don't even believe that, Nate. Like, we have too much history. We've known each other for like a decade. So for you to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you would come in here to chill. Calling you out on that one. Maybe 60-40. But yeah, it's like Venus Theory is on his way to like 1 million subscribers, right? Like, it's inevitable if he keeps doing what he does. But the amount of people that don't, I'm joking, but the amount of people that don't even know him for his music is like, it sucks. That maybe he doesn't care because like it's up to him to decide how he feels about it. But guys, the whole reason why I started a YouTube channel was to get people to come to my music. And in this YouTube journey that I've had, I've gained an insane amount of knowledge, insane amount of, you know what I mean, insane amount of insight, and met tons of people, and like it's been absolutely valuable. But the one thing that I started out to do on this channel did the complete opposite for me, and that was something that Hudson Lee talked to me about. He was like, dude, the more that people know you for your tutorials and the sound design, the less people are going to know you for like your music. And so my point with that is that for the most part, people don't give a fuck about your music unless if you're already established and then you start a YouTube channel. Like, I think Virtual Riot is a great use case, or a great case study. Like, he had all of this, all of these releases and all of this stuff. And then when he started a channel, he gave people a place to go deeper. Well, that's the thing too. You guys know that I used to teach martial arts, right? The number one thing that my instructor said to me, he was like, what makes money? Kids. The kids. You know, appealing to the kids, or parents are always going to be willing to spend money on their kids. You know what I mean? I don't think that Virtual Riot appeals, like that's his goal, but I think that the nature of his music is accessible to such a wide variety of people that he attracts a wide audience. You know what I mean? But I don't. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? But like his music isn't just like this kind of music that I'm making is for like this amount of people. And there's this circle that's this amount of people, and in the center of it, my circle is about that big. So I regret bringing up the Paul brothers. But yeah, like it's... But do you get what I'm saying? That goes back to what I was talking about from before about who you're appealing to. And I don't think he should. You know, like he definitely is in his own lane and does his own thing, and that's part of what I like about him, is that he's been able to stay authentic in the means of what he does. But I want to talk about from a success standpoint, like he established himself in the music first and then got into the YouTube thing, and people are like, I came to your channel because I heard your music on Monster Cat. Way back in what, 2013? I'm always crate digging and follow a lot of YouTubers on music platforms. Well, you and I would be in that minority because I actively look at other content creators because I'm always curious as to what they're doing. Or like I watch a lot of tutorials about shit that has no application towards what I'm doing, because I'm the kind of person that learns from, you know, somebody could be fucking around in hardware and then I'm like, oh wait, I bet I could do something like that. You know what I mean? Or, oh, hey, I have this cool little routing chain set up that gives me this, and I'm like, VCV rack is like an amazing learning tool for it if you start from the beginning. Yeah, I think my points like divvied off, but they all kind of still relate back to the same idea, is that somebody like Virtual Riot appeals to a really wide audience, but the other thing was that their music was established first. Whereas somebody like me, I didn't really start posting on my YouTube channel until I made my first EP. You know what I mean? Yeah, I gained a few, but in the almost 30,000 subscribers that I have, in general, about 1,000-ish, give or take, of those subscribers watch my YouTube videos. And then about, I'd say 200 people listen to my music or have interest in buying something off of my website. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the reality of whatever it is. And I don't know, maybe if I made trap or something, it could be different, but that's why I'm saying it's like you have to really love what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you really have to love what you're doing if you want to stick with this. And I don't know if you all notice, but I fucking do. Like I have like 4 hobbies in my life and like that is my identity. You know what I mean? Like I'm a martial artist first, a tricker, I make music, and probably gaming would be the 4th thing. But like between those things, like that's my life. That's all I ever do. The thing is, I don't think it makes sense to generalize your followers. What do you mean? Like that's the whole reason why analytics exist. Like analytics is actually incredibly useful because it's data. It's something that you evaluate based off of your performance or whatever, or like how things are going, that helps you figure out who your audience is. It's not a generalization, it's a reading. Yeah, it's not, I'm not saying, oh, all people are like this, but it's like, no, this is the kind of like, I'm talking about purely experience. You know what I mean? If it stops being fun, then you're doing something, then you should, yeah, you should be doing something else. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you should be doing something else. Sorry, but as an individual, you just saying you got to look at the practical. What do you mean? My time is limited, but I really enjoy watching someone produce. You don't know what people will like from you. But I really enjoy watching someone produce music. I don't listen to much music these days. That's interesting. The practical is the minority both love your music and hang out with you, and you just and look at your store. That's not shown in the analytics. It's more subtle than that. It's absolutely no, bro. No. You do realize that I have data on all this stuff, right? But even still, like what you're saying is actually in agreement to my point. The dedicated followers. Yeah, like you're hyper fixating on just this aspect, to which of course, but I'm talking about my experience as a business, right? I'm talking about my experience as to like yeah, of course, that's not even in the question. But what I'm saying is for running a business, the practical thing aspect of it is about okay, well, how is this doing? Right? How are my numbers looking? How like I'm giving you the practical reality of what it's like to be a content creator over music production. That's what I'm saying. It's been a thing about content creators not being able to attract people to their artistic endeavors. Yes, to a wider audience, right? I used to spend hours listening to music, but unlimited data became available, or cell phones, and everything changed. I switched to watching videos and listening to podcasts, and over time, my music listening habits have significantly decreased. Well, I could see why. You know, if you're watching somebody make stuff, especially if you're watching intently, then there's a lot to be learned, right? And I think that some people get more out of watching the story unfold, to which is why I appreciate when people come in here and they hang out with the slow process, right? You know what I mean? Like it's for for someone to come in here, and I've talked about this before, but I've been drinking. Okay, that explains a lot. It, like the expectation or the ask for someone to come in here and hang out with me for hours while I make music is a huge endeavor. You know what I mean? So like, so yes, absolutely. Like the people that come in here and hang out with me every day and all that, like, yeah, absolutely. 100%. I'm kind of talking about something a little bit different though, in the aspect of, okay, here's what's making me money. Here's what's not making me money. I have this amount of followers, and here is the data about how many of those followers actually interact with the things that I have, both from a business standpoint or a content standpoint. Because there's a blur between, right? Because if people watch my shit, technically, I should make money off of it. Very little, but you get what I mean. And so, the whole reason why I brought that up was because I think that it's safe to say that I don't think that the reason why my channel or whatever hasn't taken off is even my fault anymore. You know what I mean? How many hours do I put into YouTube? How many hours do I put into making content, making packs, lessons, or just being present, right? As somebody that you could hit me up almost any time of the day and I will respond within a couple of hours. You know what I mean? That's kind of, that's the reality that we're looking at. And if I didn't have, 100, 200 people that were interested in buying my shit, I would be working another job. And I wouldn't be making any of the music that I've made in the past 6 or 7 years, because I'd be like, yo, I gotta fucking survive. And it's weird because just having this chat of like, okay, I need to do something different, because where it's going right now for the last year and a half has been like this. And that's just that's not me saying, oh, fuck, I need your support. It's more of like, I need to do something different, you know? I'm having more fun doing it for fun and money off stream. Yeah, 100%. But you also have DJing, right? Like, and you also have some of the other stuff that you do to help supplement that. Most DJ gigs out here for the kind of music that I play is like $75 a night. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't think I'm down with that. Even if, like, for one, I'm trash at DJing, but even if I wanted to be good at DJing, right? $75 for a set is kind of like, yeah, it's a pizza and a ride home. Right. Do it for the love. Yeah, I guess I don't love it then. Right. Not enough to sacrifice my ears, or not enough to sacrifice my time to put a set together that, is going to be the very first set of the night that nobody's going to listen to. It's just like, you can. You absolutely can. A lot of people do that with business, you know? A lot of people fucking hate business, but they're really good at it. Or a lot of people hate math, but they're really good at numbers, and so they're like financial advisors or accountants. I don't think that I've ever met an accountant that's like, dog, I just fucking love numbers. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they kind of like math, but if you fucking love numbers and shit, you're probably like a physician, or a physicist, or, some kind of scientist of some sort. But accounting? Right. And I think that especially in this country, you know, the American dream was a lie from whenever the music industry started booming in America. Right. Do what's best, or do what this person says. That's kind of a thing too, right? Do what someone says, not what you think you should do. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean for this conversation to spiral into like a negative thing, but I think that it's important to talk about the realities of, and I like being open with you about what my music career has done and like what it's like, because I think that it helps set a precedent for what kind of shit the next generation is going to go through. And like, just because I'm going through it doesn't mean that someone else is, by all means. Like, I still would say, like, go for it. If you want to be a YouTuber, or you want to, you know, try to make it big off of your music, all that other shit, 100% go for it. But this is, my channel is a reality check of, here's everything that I've gone through and here's everything that I've done. So take what I've done that works and use that. Look at the things that I haven't done, or that I don't do, or that I'm not aware of, and do that. Do it better. That's the sentiment. That is the point of what I'm saying. Learn from this channel, both from a music production standpoint, but also from like a, here's what Ian did for his career, and this worked for him, this didn't work for him, so I'm gonna try to, you know what I mean, take what's useful and discard what doesn't work. You know, that's the point. I probably could have just said that in about 5 minutes, but sometimes that isn't the case. So yeah, I think with this track, I think it's about done for now. I'll probably just like leave it in a vault, or what I'll do is I'll put it up on the music members for now as a work in progress. I think that I'm going to try to send this to a couple of labels. I have a goal for next year that I want to get at least one release on Saturate Records, because I want to get one release on Saturate Records. But I want it to be because the track is good enough, not because I've got, you know, not because I've got a friendship with Tom Poo and, you know, and we're cool and whatever. It's because I want him to listen to a track and be like, that belongs here. So that being said, I need to make some money. So probably over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to focus on putting together the next preset and sample pack, because I've got a lot of shit, a lot of content to go through. Life's a video game. There's your quest. It's been like future of do what's best, not what's good, which is super hard. Was that in addendum to it's been like that for a few generations? Or where are we at with that? What is that comment pertaining to? So yeah, does anybody have any questions about anything? I don't think that I'm done streaming, but I think what I'm going to do is bounce out this version, or I think I recorded something here, right? Was it this? Yeah. And so what I want to do at the beginning here is just have some stuff that is I really like that, but I think I want it to be stretched out. Oh, yeah, yeah. Like, his tastes change a lot. But like I said, I don't think that it's a matter of like a. It's not like even a matter of validation at this point. It's more of. Here's the thing, like in 2022, he wanted to take, or he was willing to take. Oh my God, what was that track that I did? I have a really stupid beginner's question. Okay, yeah. Dude, what was? I can't. I've made so many songs lately. I can't even remember what was the first track off of Eclipse. Second track, Eyes Wide. He was willing to take Eyes Wide, and I wanted to release this as an album, and so like I turned that down. So it's not really a matter of like, can I make something good enough? It's more of like, can I make something that's in the style of a Saturate Records track? And that's the challenge for me. Yeah, that's true. I mean, what is left? There's Saturate, there's the Deadbeats are still a thing. I feel like, is Rin Raku still around? I think I submitted something to them like a few months ago. What else is there? Puts everything but Halftime out. This genre got sold to the wrong crowd. Yeah. It's so strange because like it's fucking hip hop. And it's like, why? I'm so surprised at how like niche this genre is. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, shit. That's supposed to be here. Why is this doing this, dude? Can I fucking drag? Thank you. So not let me drag this stupid clip over. In Billwig, if you loop a section 8 bars and record MIDI, is there a way it will make a long region clip of a looped recording? Are you talking about like MIDI comping? No, there's no MIDI comping. Yeah, well, that's kind of where it's gone into now. But even if you overdub, I don't think that there's a way that you can like do a bunch of recording and then it will pull out like the whole clip. I think that they changed that. It used to be that way. They also used to do it with analog or with audio, but I don't think that it's a thing anymore. I think they changed it. Yeah, I think using the clip launcher would be better. That's probably your best bet, is using the clip launcher. And then that way you can just record indefinitely. So right here, we're going to... What? You like convolution or something? There we go. Yeah, give me 1 second. So what I would do is I would just go into the clip launcher, and this will record indefinitely. So you can keep recording whatever, and then when you're done, you can just drag it out to the timeline and find different parts that you want to loop. Or you could just like do that in the timeline as well, which is what I usually do whenever I jam out like that. Because sometimes I'll just have a session to where like I've got a cool sound and I'm just like whatever, and then I'll find like one interaction and then extract that and then fix the timing or whatever and loop that, and I'm like, okay, that's my core idea. I don't think that's a beginner's question. It's a good question, but I don't think that there's a way to I don't think that there's a way to extend the length over a loop, you know? But what you can do is within these clips here, you can, like, let's say you have other loops that you want to keep going while you're doing the recording, is you can just have these clips launched as a loop. No, it doesn't have retrospective recording. And then what you can do is just have that top thing recording. So that way you don't have to like repeat the loop of all the tracks over and over again. The other thing that you can consider is MIDI cap, which is this guy. MIDI cap is free. This is retrospective recording. So you can and then be like, oh shit, I want this part, and then just drag it into the timeline, and then there you go. I use Rewind, records both audio and MIDI. Yeah, I mean, sure, but this is free. Free 99. Free 99. Which I'm kind of curious, where does this folder go? File. Trim CC to first note. Transmitting. So that, oh, maybe this, because this is the light version, this doesn't actually save to a folder. But that would be nice if you could just like play something, and then in the same way that rolling sampler goes to a folder, this would do the same. Because whenever you create MIDI clips inside of Bitwig, it saves as a Bitwig clip as opposed to a MIDI file, which is really irritating. So that's why I never do like MIDI shit inside of Bitwig, as if I'm making a pack or something. Shout out to Patterning 3. But yeah, that's kind of, it's kind of one of those things. One of those things, man. But dope. Sick. Well, let me export this, and then I'm down to hang. Is there something else that you all want to see or want to do today? 2 a.m. and finally getting tired? Yeah, I would say hit the hay and get some rest. Short reminder, I might be live tomorrow. I'm probably not going to be live. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be live Friday. Friday and Saturday, I won't be here. I'll be in LA. I'm doing an instructor seminar for martial arts. So all of us instructor heads are going to get together and punch each other in the face and shit, because we haven't done that in a long time. But I will be back Saturday night, so streaming schedule will resume on Monday. Take care, everybody. Yeah, dude, thanks for hanging. It's good to see you. Everybody go follow Django. I'm not leaving yet, personally, but W, just don't get a concussion. It's highly unlikely that would happen. I will say, yeah, I have had that to me before with sparring somebody. They have given me a concussion. When I first got into the Marvel tour, like, oh my God, talk about a cast full of fucking egos. There were some cool people there, but holy shit, everybody thought that they were a fucking stunt star and could just like beat anybody up. So I had sparring this guy who's at least 300 pounds, and I'm fucking lighting him up, and I'm not hurting him because I'm not trying to, I don't have that, but I was just very tight, bop, bop, boop, boop, boop. And he goes, boom. I'm just like, all right, dude. Yeah, he fucking rocked my head. And then I was done after that. I was just like, bro, if it would have been anywhere outside of Tor, I would have fucking kicked him in his knee and went for him. But it was so petty. Hey baby, I need you to get down. I need you to get down. Get down. She's like, no. Jersey, come on. No. I'm not going to get down. Yeah, right? Thank God for neuroplasticity. Yeah, anyway, that guy was a fucking asshole anyways, but whatever. I remember I was working with one of the castmates, and I was teaching them how I strike and how to hold for mitts, and he comes in, he's like, no, you're doing this wrong. And I'm just like, dude. Yeah, it was one of the most disrespectful moments I've had in martial arts training. But That's attempted murder. No, it wasn't attempted murder. Hi, baby. Hi, sweetie. You being good? Yeah? You being good? You're a good dog. I know. You're a good puppy. Okay, get down. Down, please. Thank you, baby. I love her. She is wonderful. She was getting on my fucking nerves last night. For whatever reason, I took her out twice and then she was just like super restless and I'm just like, "Do you have a tummy ache? Like, what is up? What is going on with you?" But it was just took her out twice like within a 20-minute span. She's like jumping against the door, running to me, looking at me, jumping in my lap, running, hitting the door. And then like it's like 5 a.m. by this time, and I try to put her in her kennel to go to bed, which she's usually really good about it. You know, I'm like, "All right, it's bedtime," and then she like we'll just walk in her kennel and I'll close it. As soon as I put her in, well, she's spaded, so that shouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. I don't really find me a pit bull. Yeah, she's spaded, but as soon as I put her in, she started whining, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, I just want to go to bed, please." Corey was such an angel. She like had to be up at 7:30 and she got up and passed out on the couch and just let her stay out there. And I'm just like, "Thank you, babe." But fuck, man, I felt so bad because she had to be up in like 2 hours. And here she is again. I think she's telling me that she needs to go pee, but she can hold it for a bit. Get down. I'll take you out in a bit, okay? Actually, no, it's fine. I took her out at like 2:30. She should be fine. Can you give them Xanax? No. No. I might be able to get a doctor to prescribe her some weed or some CBD or something. I'm not against that, but I don't want to medicate her. Well, none of us smoke weed. But yeah, I'm not going to medicate her unless if it's something that is like very minimal. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to get her super baked. If it's something that calms her down and she can be normal, that's a different story, but changing her state of mind for the sake of not annoying me is not a good... That's not a good dog parent. Give her cognac. Alcohol is really toxic to dogs. Highly toxic to dogs. What is that? Oh. Cats are... Nah, yeah, I'm not gonna. Like I said, I'm not giving my dog anything. I think my thing is more so about trying to understand what she wants and trying to like get to the bottom of what she's saying. Because wait, did that record? Testing, 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 testing. Bloop, 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 bloop. I felt like there were some words at the end of that I might have to. Right, right. Well, actually, like address the problem. You know what I mean? Oh, you're bothering me. Here's some weed. You know what I mean? Like that's wrong. See, like this is really cool. Oh, that's what this is. Okay, let's try that one more time. I'm just gonna do a quick export of this. I guess something else too is like I still want to finish this track. I just don't know what I want to do with it yet. Yeah. I still want to finish that track as well, but I don't know what I want to do with it yet. It just sounds it's a little bit too bare bones. But I've written a lot of music this year. Let's see, what do we have here? 50 tracks? 50 ideas, rather. That sounds about right. Hmm. Crazy. Yeah, well, does anybody have any questions about this project? Anything that you're curious about? Or does anybody have any production questions in general? Ah, that's why she's grabbing me, because it's almost 6 o'clock. And when it's 6 o'clock, do you know what that means? It means it's dinner time. She's so good. I love her. She comes in and listens to my annoying ass sounds and all that, and yeah, she's an angel, is what Corey says. She's an angel. Well, dope. I think that Yeah. She's like medium size. She's like 30 pounds. Not tiny. I think what I'm going to do is probably be live tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow I'm just going to be doing sound design and like sample arrangement and stuff and get ready for the next sample pack. I do have, well, that's what I'm going to do. Oh man, I love Akitas. They're pretty high energy, but they're very cute. Wait, Akitas are Japanese huskies, right? I think. What was I going to say? Faceplant, where you at? So yeah, I've got all of this shit. Minus this. But I've got all of these to sort out. Cause it's been a while since I've made a oh my god. Yeah, so I haven't put out a faceplant pack since February. And all of this stuff, let me see how many patches these are. And I think that there's more as well that I need to go and fetch from. Yeah, so 137 patches. I have played Sekiro. I fucking love Sekiro. Mine was chilled, like her, yeah, Japanese bear hunting dogs. Yeah. Fucking love Sekiro. I'm waiting for it to go on sale so I can play it on Steam. Ow. Shit, I'm sorry. Why are you like this? Going through my first playthrough right now, so good. Yeah, it's an incredible game. Would 100% recommend to anybody. What is this? Got it. Okay. So there's that one. I've already saved that. Let me see what this is. Oh, this is the... Cool. It's meant to be like brass. Yikes. Yeah, that's not worth saving. Belly flop. I know that's a bell. That's why I saved that. Should be some other stuff in here too. What does it sound like without the processing? Sekiro is part of the Tenshu Ninja Assassins game from the PS1 days. What? Yeah, it's a hard game. Yeah, like the parry system is like a dance, you know? Yeah, those are just saw waves. I think that's pretty much it for this project. I want to say like the craziest bases and stuff are actually like when I layer this. Like this part I think has some of the coolest moments in it. Like just the top end of that. After this one I'm playing Dark Souls Remastered until you face all the endings. Yeah, the post game or like the end of the game, it's weird. It's kind of like post game, but kind of not. I don't know. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but no, I think everybody should play Dark Souls if they can handle it. I think everyone should experience Dark Souls 1, 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. I haven't played Demon Souls, Sekiro. Dark Souls 2 is like the one that I'm like, you could skip it. The story and like it's weird. Like just the game itself and the presentation and all that is like the least memorable for me. It's just kind of like it's dark and it's muddy and it's ugly. I feel like Dark Souls 2 really had some growing pains. There are some cool places in there, but for the most part, it was just kind of like, eh. Uh, yeah, Scholar of the First Sin is Dark Souls 2. That's the one that I'm kind of like, it's whatever. But I can't because I have Elden Ring for Mac and I can't play online. So it's like, what's the? I wouldn't even be able to play the thing, right? Because isn't it online only? I don't want to solo that shit. It's not how the game was intended. Otherwise, I would consider it. Are there any other Souls games that you can solo it? Yeah, I don't want to though. Yeah, me too. I mean, we'll definitely be playing the Dusk Bloods when that comes out because I have a Switch too. But I think that's also going to be like a multiplayer focused game as opposed to. It feels like Night Rain is the test run for Dusk Bloods. You can play it offline. Messages are the online part. No, not Elden Ring, but just Night Rain. Oh, Lies of P, which is not a FromSoft game. You all definitely need to play Lies of P. Right. No. We're just specifically talking about the Night Rain part because I've played Elden Ring on stream. Yeah, Lies of P was sick. Fuck the last boss, but I need to play through the DLC. Actually, guys, if you haven't, you must check out Silk Song. Silk Song has Silk Song might be my game of the year. If Metroid Prime 4 flops, I think that Silk Song is going to be the game of the year for me. That game has been such a good time. Vampire was good too. I heard that was pretty good. Uh, what? Stream what? Metroid Prime? Or the DLC of Lies of P? Fallen Order, pretty good. I hadn't played that. I'm not really interested in Star Wars. It's just kind of like, eh. Like I swear to God, if I have to hear the Star Wars theme another time, I'm gonna like fucking lose my shit. It's kind of like the Beatles, you know, like I get it. It's iconic. I've got about 10 seconds of what I can listen to. I do love Lord of the Rings, actually. The movies, anyways. I didn't read the books, but um, the the games were also sick. Like the Twin Towers and Return of the King, like those were awesome games. I heard that was pretty good. John Williams jacked a lot of his themes from classical composers. It was John Williams. I'm assuming John Williams is the guy that composed Star Wars. Oh yeah, I do enjoy sci-fi, but like it's got to be not fucking cheesy. Like I can get down with Alien. I can't really get down with Star Trek and like I don't know, fucking Star Wars, you know. It's just too much. It's like and the fucking galactic flux capacitor oh, and the force. The force. The force. The force. It's like I don't fucking care. I have a shotgun. You can get forced out of a window. It's pretty simple. You know what I mean? It's not that I would ever do that, but you know what I mean? Just as a god, it's just a fucking slop. The force, the force, the force. You don't know what it's like to come to the dark side. Mind battle to where we're not really sword fighting. We're just doing dance. We're dancing and colliding our lightsabers. It's just like it feels fucking like it totally fucking feels like a religion. Like at least the Matrix, like the Matrix in itself was also very like, you know what I mean? Like a very large parallel to Christianity, but they weren't so like obvious about it, you know? I like the sounds of the swords, but like, yeah, I don't know. And that's part of the reason why I don't even watch movies anymore because like combat in movies is just, it's just bootleg to me. That's the best way I can describe it. It's beyond unrealistic. It's just bootleg. And I'm not looking for realistic combat per se, but it's they were over the top on Christianity in the last two films of The Matrix. The Matrix Revolutions and The Matrix Resurrection. I didn't watch the fourth one, but with 2 and 3. Yeah, maybe the third one. The third one kind of made sense though, but they also had other ties into it that kind of helped separate itself. Oh, 2 and 3? No, I thought they were okay. Like obviously like Neo would be Jesus, but there was a lot of like questionable things that were happening between the architect and the oracle, right? So like yeah, there were a bunch of parallels and stuff, but it wasn't so like people also didn't really worship Neo, which I thought was cool. Like, okay, he's the one. Yeah, he's going to be the one that fucking kicks this guy's ass. But it wasn't like the one, you know? Whereas I feel like the Skywalker family and all that shit and Anakin, right? Yeah, like it was like ugh. And she's the female Jesus. I actually liked Rey. I liked her character. I liked her personality. I would have probably liked her if she were the same character but in a different sci-fi film. You know what I mean? They're all Jesus until the next one comes. Yeah, like I thought Rey was fine. Um and it didn't like they didn't really, at least in the first film with her, they didn't make her out to be like a Jesus figure. You know what I mean? Like she lost a lot. She got fucked up. She had to do a lot of running. Like she had no proper training and went to be. Oh, she did? With Ben Kenobi? The Sith Lord guy? Wait, Kenobi? Are you talking about the Are you talking about fucking Han Solo's kid? Yeah. Yeah, Adam Driver. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Towards the end of the movie. I don't know. I didn't watch the other ones after that. I only watched her in the first in that film. I thought it was okay. I have not been able to watch an entire Star Wars film without falling asleep. Did you just say that Hayden Christensen was super talented? I I'm gonna head out. Jersey's ready for dinner. You ready for dinner? I gotta go. Her character was likable. Just she's that much of a female boss thing, kind of forced. Like, come on, how can you duel a Sith Lord without any training? Yeah, I agree, 100%. All right, I don't even want to talk about Star Wars anymore. I don't even like that shit. Anyways, much love, guys. I think I'm gonna go. She's ready for food. I'm ready to feed her. Yeah, pretty girl. You ready for dinner? You ready for din din? But much love, guys. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll be hanging out tomorrow. Thank you for chilling with me while I finish this. While I finish this track, it'll be up on the music membership thing on my website later today. Bye, guys. Much love.